Hi, it's Roger here with episode 12 of Entrepreneur TV with a very special episode and offer. It has been 250 days since we started this channel, so it's like just over 8 months, and we've had over 250,000 views. So thank you so much for those of you who have been watching. And so as a big thank you, this is what we're going to do. I have my mastermind circle, which is a $6,000 program where every single month you get to spend time with me and our mastermind group, where we go online. We have amazing success stories, learning, and also you get a chance to come along and be part of our annual conference. And I am going to be giving a scholarship to one person who puts a note in the comments below within the next week. I'm going to basically do a draw, and if you subscribe and then put a comment in the note, then you'll be in on the draw. And I will be making sure that somebody on the next video that I do in a week's time, which is our Q&A video, someone is going to end up winning that scholarship. So go ahead and do that. Just put a note down. You can say whatever you want, say where you're from, say who you are. And if you ask a question, because we've got our Q&A coming up, then I'll put in 2 votes for you. Right, so this is just a way to get you engaged, to get you involved. Thank you very much to everyone who's been watching. And if you've been kind of like sitting on the sidelines a little bit, watching the videos, but not really getting involved in all the comments that go on, change that today. Go ahead, put a note down, and I will see you in the note section. All right, so that is for you to be a part of our $6,000 scholarship draw, which we're going to do as a celebration of 250,000 views and 250 days of this program. So in this session here, we are going to be talking about the 7 steps to every promotion. And the cool thing about this is I'm actually in Sanora right now, and as you can see, we're actually down one of the little shopping streets here, and everyone here is out looking for business. Some places here are pretty empty, as you can see, not so many people inside. I'm going to go to a place which is always really full, and I'm going to share with you why it is. It's because they're following these same 7 steps I'm about to go through with you. They're the same 7 steps that you get to when you go to a rock concert. They're the same 7 steps that you get to when you buy a new iPhone. There's the 7 steps you'll get to when you put your children into school, or when you go out and buy a property. All the very, very best people use these 7 steps. So what are the 7? Step number 1 is something called invitation. I'm going to actually put them down one by one. I'm going to explain why these are so important, and if you're not doing these, why that stops you from being able to learn and grow as a business, right? But first of all, let me give you the 7. Invitation is number 1, which is what you do, inviting someone in a very specific way, and I'll go through the different ways you can do it, to want to do business with you. Number 2 is not delivering, which is what a lot of people could do straight away. Like, why don't people buy from me? Or, what do I need to do to attract more customers, and not having the answers. No, number 2 after invitation is registration. Registration is what your customer does. It's like, would you like to dance? Yes, please. Right? You don't start dancing before you know they want to dance. So registration is number 2. That's their action. Number 3 is back on your side again. So number 3 is now confirmation. Still not time for delivery yet, because this is when you set expectations. It's when you say they're on board. It's when you're actually now putting things in place, saying, okay, if we're going to dance, then here's what you need to know about my dancing, right? And then after confirmation, you then have the next step, which is all about preparation. That's their side. It's them getting ready, whether they're going on a trip and you're preparing what you need to do to get to the airport, whether it's preparing to come for an event, whether it's whatever it is that you're doing. It's that preparation stage where you're actually knowing it's a 2-way street where you're going to dance with your customer. Then step 5 is delivery. Right? You notice there's 5 steps in before we even deliver anything. But at that point, what are you delivering? You've set expectations, you've taken payment, you're delivering on the basis that you are wanting to exceed those expectations, which can only work if you even know what those expectations are. After delivery, it's not over, because after delivery, you then have the next step, and the next step is now the feedback, because if you're not getting feedback from your customer, you notice sometimes, even if you download an app for free, it asks you, would you like to give us feedback? Would you like to put a rating? You buy a book on Amazon, it asks you the same thing. And the reason this happens is because every single time that you have someone who's learning or able to want to give you feedback, it allows them to complete on their side. You delivering isn't good enough if they didn't have a good experience, or if they didn't have a chance to actually tell you how much they appreciated it. So feedback is that final part, whether you're in a restaurant and you decide feedback is giving a tip, whether it is whether it is being at an event, the feedback is what you think like to see improved or do it differently next time. And obviously that's the opportunity for you to also ask them back or to get referrals. And then the final step, the final one is thank you, which is your side, which is when you're saying the party's over, the dance is over, thank you for dancing. Because sometimes people think that you're still delivering. So those are the 7 steps. What those 7 steps allow us to do is they allow us to measure at every key point something that we can then learn from. Because if you're not doing this, you wouldn't know why your customers aren't coming back, or you wouldn't know, how you could charge more, or how you can increase your revenues. All these things will be a mystery because you're not measuring the 6 key things that fit between these 7 different steps. So let me walk through what those are, and you'll be familiar with this in your own industry if you look at the people who are like the top of your industry. Okay, so to go first of all from registration, going from invitation to registration. Invitation could be an ad you put out. It could be a Facebook ad. It could be a newspaper ad. It could be an email that you send. It could be a phone call that you make where you're inviting someone to register, not to buy, but to register into something. Even if it's for a free event or to get a free product, right? From invitation to registration, this allows you to be able to see what your registration rate is. Maybe out of 10 people, 1 person registered. You find out what people really see of value in what you do before you even ask for the money, right? So this is number 1 most important thing, is understanding what the registration rate and what is your cost per lead. For each one of those people that you're actually having come on board, what is the cost of having them come on board? Because if you don't know that, there's no way for you to be able to track and improve, or even to invest to find more people. The second step, which is the most important one when it comes to actually starting to grow your marketing, is that if you have got from invitation to registration, let's say 100 people ended up with 10 people coming on board to do something with you, which now you've got 10 people registered. The next step, which is you confirming them in, you may not want them all to come in. You might decide that you want half of them to come in. You might decide that some of them are don't fit your criteria. The more you actually have your customers earn their place in working with you, the more you're going to find the right quality of people that you want to be working with. So this is where you find out exactly what your cost per customer is, right? So you have your cost per lead, and then you find out your cost per customer and your revenue per customer as well, right? So this is really important, because if you don't know this, you have no way to actually be able to track revenue per customer, revenue per lead, cost per lead. So this is now going from what we have as a registration rate to the next thing, which is a conversion rate. And this then leads us to a third little key part, which is going from now that you've confirmed with someone, which is where you're actually saying, yes, you're in, and here's the things you need to know about doing business with us. At that point, when they're then saying, okay, here's the things I now need to do, the element on here is to know that engagement is key. We've had events where we might have an even free event or a book that we write. Just because someone says they want it doesn't mean they're going to read it, doesn't mean they're going to attend. But this is now all about the preparation, which is, are they actually going to show you they're actually interested in this? When we have our kids going to school, the same thing. It's good enough, they say, yes, your child can come, but you have to now pass these exams. It means that there's still things that need to be done before the delivery happens. So now this is where we actually say, okay, this is now where we're actually going to the next step, which is engagement, and understanding that from engagement, from first of all, the registration to the confirmation to the engagement. At this point now, you're going to then have the delivery. Delivery is when you said, now that we know what we're going to expect, you've done your part, we've done our part, let's deliver the event, let's deliver the product. And this is where you actually get to your delivery rate, because not everything gets delivered. Not everyone ends up getting it, and you want to make sure you track that. This also allows you to be able to actually see what is your upgrade per customer, because often in delivery, think about when you go to a movie, how much does that person buy in addition in terms of popcorn and other things? How much do they actually decide they want to come back for the next movie? You'll find that often at delivery stage is when you're actually able to offer a new invitation to a new promotion. So remember, all flow happens as a result of process, which we went through on the last video. And if you missed the last video, you can go and have a look at it right here. And secondly, it's as a result of promotions, which are all about your projects, have a beginning and end, milestones, and that's what actually makes people come through the door, because they have something which is really compelling that they hear you are inviting them into. And there's a cost of them not being a part of it as much as the cost of them being a part of it as well. So this is where we then get from delivery, which is where you actually deliver, to then the feedback, which is now where you go from your delivery rate and your, what is the dollars per upgrade or the dollars per additional business, to the next step, which is the satisfaction rate. Satisfaction rate is really important, Because if you don't know how happy your customers are, you can't improve what you're doing. If you don't know what they'd rather, if they don't know how happy they are, they're not going to be coming back. So this is a chance for them to actually say, yeah, I was actually really happy with that. And I got what I thought I was going to get. And from there, you also are able to get your referral. Because at the end of the day, this is when you can ask others, okay, how much would you like to refer to others? What are the incentives to come back again? Would you like to be our customer long term? And so this basically takes us finally to the thank you. And the thank you is your ability to actually give them something which totally surprises or delights them in such a way that they feel like it's Christmas all over again. You know, so it's almost like what we've now delivered, here's an extra something we'd like to give to you as well. I wanted to finish coming here because this is the place behind me which is always full on the Friday. And the reason for this is, have a look, talk about a promotion. You know, so many of the other signs about here are just like open business as usual, no real reason for someone to come specifically to come at that specific time. Why not come tomorrow? If there's no cost to do business with you today, people always put it off to another day. This here is the invitation to come to this place here. Come and join our party. This is Jar Rastafari, who is, as you can see, big on reggae. And as you can see here, every Saturday starts at 7 o'clock. You've got a very key specific timing and offer. Happy hour from 7 p.m. till drop. That's a pretty long happy hour. Small beer bintang, 40,000, buy one, get one for free. I mean, you all know about happy hours and how they bring in the extras. But actually just by having one sign and having a call to action on one day, this place does more business than most of the places here does an entire week. So what is your promotion? You know, if you haven't got your promotion plan, download it by following this link, watch the video, go to GeniusU and take that promotion plan. Then put your own promotion together, see how it works. Look at the people who are top in your industry, see how they do it. And again, this is not just about doing something online or doing something, you know, with a book or doing something, you know, with a retail store. It's in every business. It's even in politics in terms of having elections, that everything has a beginning and end, a compelling reason that they want you to be a part of it, an invitation to be a part of it, and then the benefits and the measures that come along the way, which allow you to fine-tune week by week to improve what you're doing and the way that you're doing it. Now, you just heard at the beginning of this video, I talked about an invitation from our side. And it's part of a promotion, which is not really a promotion for us to be out there making money. It's more a promotion to have more and more people involved and engaged in this video series, and a way for us to be able to spread the word about building your own entrepreneurial journey. Because collectively, if we do that, we can go out there and impact the world. So if you have not yet gone ahead and do it now. Put your note down below, put a little comment down, click on this video if it's embedded somewhere, so you can get onto YouTube. You can put your note below. In the next week, we're going to be doing a lucky draw from someone in there who's going to get a scholarship to join my mastermind circle. This is the Entrepreneur Mastermind, where every single month we're going to be connecting up with a core group of select entrepreneurs that allow you to be able to build your business with my support. It's going to be live every single month. Just put your note down below and you'll be a part of that, right? And I look forward to seeing you in there as well. If you haven't yet subscribed, subscribe as well. And from us over here, we will catch up with you on the next video. Bye for now.